to be using Google authentication to secure our website. So if you don't use JWT, you can actually use Google login to secure your website. So this is exactly how the button works. We are building this using Vue.js and Express.js. As you can see, brought up my name, my email, and my profile picture. So if I check my backend now, as you can see, it sends me a token and it sends me the details about the user that actually logged in to the Google into your website. I see it sends me a token too. So in case you want to use this token as authentication, that's why it sends you this token. If you want to secure some routes, so that's what this token is for. So this is what we're going to be building. So now the next step is to go to our console cloud.google.com. So we're going to create a new project to be able to get our client ID and client secrets. So just go here and search for API. We're going to enable APIs and services. Then you create a project. You can just name it anything. Maybe like just name it my project. Just give it the default name and click on create. So go to credentials. Then configure consent screen. Get started. Give it any name like web app. You give it your support name. Next, you put it as available to test with any Google account tester now. So once you're going live, they'll give you a new key. This one is just for testing. So you click on next. Just click on your same email address or any email address. Then agree, finish. Click on create. So click on create towards clients, application, web application, name, web client 1, authorized JavaScript origin. That should be your local host, your front end URL. Or if you are going live, you can just add the URL of the front end or your live URL, the front end URL. But since we are just on localhost, we'll just use localhost 8080. I authorize through direct URL, that's your backend. Localhost 4000. So this is what the backend URL looks like. So in case your backend is already hosted live, so you can just add the URL here and the live URL for your backend here and the auto callback. So then we'll now save this. We'll create So as you can see, it has given me my client secrets and client ID. So we'll just download it, and as you can see, we've gotten our client secret and client ID. So that's exactly what we're going to use in our backend if we're going to get that token from Google. So here's the client secret we actually got from Google. So this is what we are going to use on our Express app. So now, if you have not installed your Express, I'm sure you know how to install Express.js now. But if you have not installed it, you can just do this. Just copy this and paste it. npm install Express, Axios, Cause, Body Parser, Google Auth Library. These are all the packages you're going to need for this project. So now I'm going to start up our Express server. Const Express require Express. Const Express up. So we're going to start up our server now. Const up dot listen. So this remember that it was we use localhost 4000 in our when we're setting up our credentials on Google Auth. So we're going to use 4000 for this. So we're going to start up our server now. So I forgot, you need to install nodemon too for your server. So you don't need to restart your server at the time. Nodemon does that for you. You install nodemon. So when I go nodemon server.js, let's do this on 3000. Okay, it's running on 4000. So our Express server is now running on 4000. Alright, so now we're going to we're going to require all the packages we install. We're going to now set them up in this Express, in this server.js file. So start with Axios, require Axios, then body puzzle to require body puzzle. Okay, so we're going to use do app dot use body puzzle JSON. Oh yeah, we also forget to add cost too. Cost require cost. We're going to have dot use cost too. Dot use cost, then dot use body puzzle. So this is all the required this thing we used already. So go to require our Google Auth library too. Require library, and const So this is everything we're needing in this for this project. These are just all the packages we've installed. We installed ACOS, so we're going to use ACOS. We installed body parser for sending JSON to your front end. We installed this OAuth2 for Google Auth library. So we installed CORS for so it will be able to communicate with our front end. Oh, this is not required. So these are all the necessary things we need for our project. So now there's no need to write it twice, so just change smart later. So next we're going to create a post request that collects code from the front end. So we're using try and catch for this. Try catch. Then we're getting the code from the front end. So we're getting it from the header. So that's headers authorization. Then we log the code, any code you get, we log it to the console. Then we go to our front end using vue3 to send the post requests. You want to install, so now I already have my vue3 running. So you want to install, if you want to install vue3, you can just do vue create web app and then click on enter. So once that has finished installing, just install ACOS and vue3 Google login. So once that has finished installing, just start up your server. As you can see, I've already my application is already running here. As you can see, I've already imported my ACOS and Google login, my vue3 Google login. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a button that actually sends the code to the backend. So create a button, create an at click function, at click login. Then come here, create a method, the login function. So we're loading the Google SDK now. Google SDK loaded. Function. Google account dot accounts auth2 dot init code clients. Then we're going to enter our secret ID now. Remember the secret ID we got from Google, the client ID. So let's check for our client ID. Client secrets. So here's our client secrets. So copy that, then come here and paste it. Then the scope, email profile, open ID, then our redirect URI. Remember our redirect URI is, we gave it, what's our redirect URI? So our redirect URI here, slash callback. So put that here. Then we create a callback response. if response dot code this dot send code to backend. Suppose dot code. Then we're creating our pop-up modal that actually display our Google accounts if we want to log in. So this is code that does that. So we're going to save this. They will create a function to send the code to the backend now. The code we get from here, we'll add it. The code we get from here, we're going to add it to the next function that actually sends the code to the backend. So we're going to use async for that. Async send code to backend. So using try and catch here. Try catch. So we're getting the header. So the header was sending his authorization header. Authorization. So you're getting the authorization code. So now we're going to send the response. We're going to send the response and everything to the backend. Console response. Posts. So yeah, we're going to, since we're not sending any data to the backend, so I'm just going to impute null here. I'll just send the headers, so we're going to impute null. So now I'm going to log in the response to see if our code is sending. So log response to data. So now let's save this and see if it works. Unexpected token. Okay, methods. That's in. Okay, yeah. Go to put comma. So now let's check if it will work. vue3 Google SDK is not a function. And proxy login. Hold on, comment. So let's check this. Seems API. Okay, the code we use for the what code did we use for to send your okay API verify. So let's change that to API slash verify. Let's save that and see if it will work. So let's check this again. Oh, let's change it to supposed to be in capital letters. Capital letter L. So let's save this and see if it will work. It probably works this time. Yeah, it's working. So I'm just going to check if it will send the code to the backend. Yeah, so let's check our backend now. Oh yeah, it sends me an authorization code. So let's try that again to see if it will send. If to send another code. So let's try that again.
Okay, yeah, it sends me an authorization code. So now we're getting the code. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to exchange this code in order for us to get an access token. So we need this code. We'll be needing this code to get an access token. So that is the next thing we're going to do now. We're going to exchange this code, send it to the backend. It's already receiving at the backend. So we're going to use this code now to get an access token. So that is the next thing we're going to do. So now we've gotten the authorization code. So now we can use the authorization code to get an access token from Google. So right, we're exchanging the authorization code for an access code. So this is just what it does. It gets the code. The code it gets here, pass it here. Your client ID. So let's change this client ID. See the client ID. And client secret to const access token. So we're getting the access token here. The access token that we get from this response. That's what we're getting here. So we're going to log that into console now. Console.log. Logging down the access token. So now let's see if we're getting. Let's go to our front end to see if we'll get any. To see if we'll get any access token. Let me open this tab. So yes, we got. You can see we got the authorization code and we got an access token too. So as you can see, we actually get what we want. We got an access token. So let's see now if we can actually extract the user details out of this access token. So const user response. So the token we are getting from the access token we got from here. So we're going to pass it down here. So we're sending this this token to this URL in order for us to get the user info. So we're going to console.log that now. Console.log user details. Then we send the user details as JSON format. So let's see if that works out. Yeah, as you can see, we're getting the user details here in the front end. So it's username, email verified. That my email has been verified. My name, my user picture. As you can see, everything is successful in the front end. So let's check the back end. So as you can see too, everything is here is successful. So this is just exactly how you use Google authentication for your website if you want to secure your website. So this token that was gotten is what you're going to use for authentication on your site. So if you want to use it for other things, so you can actually use the token for you, but you're just using it for your for protection on your websites. If you want to use JSON, you can actually use this. So now if you want to get user details in your templates, just do this dot user details response data. So yeah, just come to your template and write and do a v if user details and come to your data here and write data return, just return user details as null. So here it comes to your template and write user details dot name and user details dot image, user details dot picture, response dot details dot name. User details dot user dot name user dot email dot user dot picture. So let's check that out. Current property of name. So let's position dot user, okay, small letter. So instead of just putting it here, let's just add it to the user to the response. Let's add response dot data dot user. Right, this should work now. Yeah, alright. As you can see, it's working. So this is just exactly how we use Google authentication. So in case you want to use it for anything, you can just use it. So thank you. In case you want to use the the code for anything, the access token for anything for your security, so you can just use it. So this is exactly how Google login works from the whole front end to the back end. So thank you very much. You can actually subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you.